So today's objective is to present the current call that has been published yesterday, called the GovTech Incubator, which is a framework partnership agreement. And so today's objective is an information session about the call, so to explain what it is about, what we're looking for, to offer you the opportunity also to ask questions, and also to start an opportunity to initiate contacts. You know that we have offered to participants to pitch, and so far, but I will come to that, were quite a number. So I will try to be brief. So here reflected in the agenda. So we are starting, and I did not finish, but it was the first half an hour, 25 minutes. I will present the calls, what you are looking for, some tips, and some where to find information. After, we will have up to half an hour to give you questions, for you to ask some questions. And as well, and the end, because we have more than 15 people for joining, I mean, asking for pitch. So we can, I would say, we will have almost 1 hour to let you introduce yourself, and I will come to that, explain how we want to run this. So it will be short, there will be a lot of people. So the session is also recorded. So if you have any issue with that, I mean, because it's for as well to let the people who could not join today follow it later. Everything is published, but I will come to that. So the GovTech Incubator, here you have the call ID for those who are familiar with funding and tender portal. You can see how to identify the call. So maybe a bit of context first. So this is part of the Digital Europe program. There is somebody, if you could mute, please. Adoya, if you could mute yourself, please. Idoya,
Hello.
Can you unmute yourself? Can you mute yourself, please?
Sorry.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you. So we are part of the Digital Europe program. So it's for those who are not familiar, this is a new European Commission program which comes in complement. I mean, you're familiar with Horizon 2020. Now it's Horizon Europe. And this is part, the GovTech Incubator is part of the work program 2021-2022 that was adopted last autumn. For those as well who were familiar, so I'm also from the Directorate General of Informatics, which was the former ISA Square program. And this has been moved to the now for this current framework of financing for the European Commission and to the Digital Europe program, and we are part of this European digital government ecosystem. Here I describe, I mean, the sort of blocks we have there, the topics that are addressed. Most of them are implemented through procurement, but there are some of them, such as EID and what's on the principle, that will be also using partially grants. And here as well, you can go to the Digital Europe programs to see the other fund opportunities and to know more about this. This is a new initiative. It's something we never tried before, so it's also why we take time as well to present today, and there will be probably other presentations. So the objectives, the objective of this call of this GovTech Incubator is to foster deployment of cross-border collaboration between the different actors of GovTech. So it's to have better digital public services, to also promote innovation in digital reusable solution. We would like preferably to have open source, and as well, because ISA Square was the interoperability program, is to ensure that we have interoperability by collaboration. It's done through pilot, will be done on piloting activities in a variable scale geometry. I will explain.
Weird, my sound.
It's please, if you could mute yourself, thanks. We would like also to encourage in this collaboration to participation of European SMEs and startups. So we would like, the impact is that, of course, to have better citizen-centric public service, to increase as well as we know with the COVID, I mean, we just show that we were not as autonomous and we were not from digital strategic things, we were not as autonomous as we would like. We have also implemented a sort of formal cross-border cooperation framework, so to allow the states to participate and collaborate each other, and to, of course, support thriving GovTech ecosystem and to identify future building blocks that we have been working on since the past year, and we will continue. So, scope of the call. So, the idea is to establish a long-term cooperation between the European Commission and the consortium that will be formalized to a framework partnership agreement. I will come later what it is, explain what it is. It's supporting the experimentation in the public sector, leveraging the emerging digital technologies, and identify possible reusable components. So the activities of the GovTech Incubator will be to deliver on an action plan so it will be covering 4 years of activities with a possible extension to the full duration of the Digital Europe program. The action plan should ensure at least to cover the activities that are described below. So it's to develop horizontal incubator functions such as advice, challenge, design, pitching exercise, engagement with stakeholders, etc. To support as well the design, the elaboration, and execution of the pilot using the digital technologies. Of course, the pilot must not involve the complete consortium, but only part of them, as it is more easy to execute the pilot, extend it after. The idea is also to assess and identify from pilots possible reusable solution, supporting existing or new public service, and from this as well to propose as for us, or I mean in your own country, large-scale pilots, deployments, and also things we could propose, we could support through the program as mature solutions after. And as well to ensure continuous road mapping of the activities of the incubator and to propose path for the sustainability through Digital Europe program, but as well beyond. And as well to, because there will be a number of related activities in different programs of the Commission. So it's as well to ensure coherence and engagement with the national GovTech programs to identify possible future activities that could be done by the So, I mean, this is just to explain the variable geometry. So here we have a picture that could represent more or less the participant, the partners in the GovTech Incubator. So the GovTech Lab could represent countries, different GovTech Lab from different places. So I would say the first pilot would be designed and executed by the 2 countries, A and D, and they will ask the support of startups to make the pilot or the proof of concept of the activities you would like to do. A second pilot could involve another set of country. They could use also a startup, also their own resource if they would like to, and as well you could have involved also other participants, the other type of participants that are, for example, in the consortium that could also participate to this. And this is just an example to illustrate what we would like to do. About the framework partnership agreement, so this is the subject of the call. So this is what we're calling upon. And so this is something that will be signed once between the consortium and the European Commission for a duration of 4 years. As I say, extended. The agreement will be based not on execution of tasks, but on an action plan that will be covering the period of the framework partnership agreement. Later, it can be amended, adding new partner, probably an adjustment in the action plan or extension if to have it covering the last 3 years of the program. There is no funding associated to that, so this is an important point. So there is directly no funding when you sign the FPA. And so it means that the evaluation will be done according to the action plan. There will be a financial assessment, but it was more the solidity of the partner. This is done the submission time by the commission, the research executive agency validation services, but we will also evaluate and the operational capacity to carry on the activities that are proposed in the action plan for every. And after, of course, this is, as I said, there is no funding. Once this has been signed, we can implement the action plan through different specific grant agreements, so more than one, that's the idea. And here is what we say, so we have the FPA, that is framework partnership agreement that will be signed, that will cover the 4 years, that could be extended, and after the actual implementation of the action plan that will be agreed upon will be with a succession of one or more specific grant agreement. As I was talking in the first work program, so we already mentioned that we will be financing a first specific gap agreement. The proposal will be sent, the invitation to submit a proposal will be sent to the consortium that we have selected for the FPA signature. So the model will be a simple grant. So it will implement the first 2 years of the framework partnership agreement. The following years will come in the next framework, the work programs. Here we, on the first specific grant agreement, we have put a focus on experimentation, so the deployments. And this, of course, when this is why I mention it, although it's not the priority now, but it's also to know that the action plan must reflect what we will be calling for the first 2 years. So it will be pilots using innovative. On this first specific agreement, the Commission will provide Euro funding. On the overall FPA, we could have, of course, we could have for the 4 years, we will propose more, but it's not decided at the moment. And the funding will be 50% co-financing. I will also say somewhere there is the possibility to provide funding, Resilience and Recovery Fund. All the reference documents to be used as for the framework partnership agreement, but also if you want to have a look at the CIPL grant model, you can find under the digital sections of the funding and tender portal, but as well on the page of the call that you will have the link here. So there is as well to say which type of participants. So first, you have the eligible participants. So here I recall that you must have a link to the call document, so where you have all the details and what we ask. And here I advise you to read it. I will recall this later. So of course, the eligible participant has to be legal entity, private, public. They have to be established in one of the eligible countries. So it means that one of the EU member states or non-EU countries associate or in ongoing negotiations. I put a link to the list. There are currently 3 joint countries and 4 countries who are candidates to join the program. All beneficiary and affiliated, they must register to the participant register before submission. This is very important. If you've never participate, this is something you have to register. Also the details on the links and how to do that is in the core document. And what we would like on the consortium composition. So ideally, we would like one consortium. This is something we want to be as large as possible. But the minimum condition is that we would like to have at least, we need to have at least 3 applicants with the following conditions. So at least 3 entities from the 3 distinct countries. And as well, we would like at least to have 3 entities operating at national level, supporting innovation and experimentation. So here is the name because it could be, I mean, there are different names: GovTech Lab, Digital Lab, Campus, etc., agencies, digitalization agencies. So this is the type of our participants, entities we ask to have in the consortium. Of course, the more better. So this is something, but just for you to know how to involve the piloting activities. This concerns the latest part when you sign the grant. So important as well to know how we can pay the piloting activities. This, I would say, is not relevant, so I will not spend time on this. It's not relevant for the current call. Here are the timelines, so it's also very important, and as well to tell you on where I have to put the importance of the activities now. So this is today. We have information session. So the call had been published yesterday. The call, a formal opening for submission, will be next week on the 22nd. The call closure will be on 15th. And in June, we will evaluate for the FPA. So I repeat, no funding based on an action plan to agree on the objectives. In July, we will communicate the results of the evaluation. And in autumn, we will start the framework partnership agreement. So there will be discussion with the selected consortium. And in autumn, we plan to sign. And then once it's signed, we will ask to submit the proposal for the first grant. There we will start the evaluation. So there will be, of course, just to mention, because we use this schema, so we send the invitation just to the consortium. So it will not be an open call, so it will not appear, of course, on the portal, because this is why we use this framework partnership agreement, is to have a pre-selected consortium which we give specific grants. And then the timeline continues, so it's between the Commission and the consortium. However, we still need to evaluate the specific grant agreement. As we have selected, we start the grant preparation, the grant agreement preparation, sorry, and the signature. Hopefully, early next year, we will start the signature of the and start of the activities. So just this is more or less a summary of what I say. Here you have a link to the call, so you have all the details. I mean, very important, you have to look at the call document. I've put the link as well. So the call document contains more details on what we are calling upon. I mean, I summarize everything here. It was today, the 15th of February, next week, we open the call, the deadline to submit 14th of May. As usual, the usual recommendations, so don't wait the last minute to submit. The proposal must be at least a couple of days before, because the deadline is at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and 5 o'clock, 1 minute is too late. You have the link to the funding and internal portal as well. We will train the national contact points for those who are familiar. I mean, they are national, but also regional contact points to which you can revert. So we will give them also information. We will train them so they will be able to answer either content-related questions as well as to or administrative questions. They have trained, so they will be able to help you according to what. So the next step. So as I repeat again, I will not repeat it enough. So read carefully the page and the call document. There will be further information session. This is not the last one, so we will be organizing yearly as well as workshop related to GovTech. I advise you as well to join and to the collection we have on Join Up, Innovative Public Service. Here we will publish all the events, ongoing event, and as well I advise you to look on the Digital Europe program. They will also relay any information session for us, but as well in other calls you might be interested. There will be an FAQ that will be provided on the page of the call. There will be an FAQ section. So as it is now is an open call for an FPA, every question that will be asked, we will put the answer there. And of course, the answers would be public. As well, if you have really specific non-IT related questions, there is a mailbox, digit.govtech@eceuropa.eu. So do not hesitate to contact. I mean, this was the box that was used also for the present meeting. If you have a question, please do not hesitate, and we'll answer it either through email, but as well on the queue. And as we say, I mean, your focus now should be, I would say, not to work on detailed activities and who would receive what, but building the right consortium to find the right partners and to agree on a 4-year action plan and high-level activities to carry out. So this is very important. So, I mean, I know that until May, it's not possible to decide who will do which pilot, but it's not the important things now, right now, is to find partners. And this is why we're here as well, and to agree on a 4-year activities, the 4-year plan activities. So also to help, this is something that will be published in the coming days or weeks. So for those who are not familiar as well, we have been working as on the GovTech practice. So it was more or less to set up for those who don't have yet a program, but who are interested to set up a GovTech program. So how they were set up, which activities GovTech programs are offering. Also use 6 best practice case studies and lessons that were learned on setting up and running a GovTech program. This we are just finalizing the report, and it will be made available through the Innovative Public Service. This is where the central part of is as well. So now it's over. My presentation is over. I will start opening the ground. I will also help my colleagues if they can monitor and let me know if there are questions on the chat. So either you can raise your hand, you can also write the question to the chat. So now we have, I would say, half an hour. I can say already some questions we already received. So I will start just to introduce and break the ice. So as I say, I mean, is it necessary, one of the questions, to define now the use case, pilot, and the allocation of resource? As I said, the call concern only the FPA. So with the deadline set, so here I put a mistake, it's the 14th of May. The priority and should be given to constitute the consortium with agreed objectives and an action plan. Although, I mean, what is important to know is that what we are proposing to fund for the first 2 years, so the action plan, of course, should be consistent and with what we propose to fund. The obligation of being part of the consortium in the framework partnership agreement. So, of course, there are you part on agreements, you sign the contract, but signing the framework partnership agreement does not oblige you to receive and define when you will receive funding and when you will receive funding. And so I would say a partner can be part of the framework partnership agreement, but not participate in the first specific grant agreement, but future. So it will be just a partner in the grant agreement that will say, sort of name like sleeping partner for the first grant, but it could be an active partner for the second grant. So this as well, I mean, being part of the consortium does not mean that if you do not feel ready that you would participate. However, you would like to propose activities in an action plan and you think you would participate in the future. So this is also something important too. There was also a question about the 50% of co-financing, because in other programs it depends on the type of partner. So it applies to everybody. So there are no exceptions. So 50% of the eligible cost, they must come from national or pilot source. Although, I mean, also digital, your program, co-financing can also come from Recovery and Resilience Fund if it's consistent with the national plans. We can have a dedicated presentation in the future with the entities interested. I mean, of course, it will be public, but this concerns more the national authorities. So this is something we could also in the future. So now giving the floor, I will now stop sharing my screen. See the questions. I don't see if somebody raised hand. Colleagues, if you want to intervene as well to chat. Yeah, so the first question, the event will be, the presentation will be shared on JoinUp. We will put video as well as the presentations. So I was hearing the video was low. There was some issues. So I have a question from Roberto Poli from Italy. Roberto, if you can wait, ask your question.
Oh, yes, it was just understand if 3 million is the cumulative value of all the projects, or is the grant for each project?
I mean, no, it's a cumulative. So it's for the GovTech Incubator. So the GovTech Incubator, it's, I would say, ideally we expect a sort of large consortium. And I mean, if you want to participate, I mean, the project, I would say the pilots, this is defined inside the grant. So we will give the grant to the consortium. They will have to foresee the activities of the pilots, etc. So it's cumulative. It's your question.
So we will have just one project that gets the grant.
I mean, you will have one grant to, and after, what may I ask? What do you call the project?
So it will be just one consortium with many proposals, and the commission select just one consortium?
No. I mean, this is maybe something. I mean, the pilot activities, we ask the consortium to do 3 or more pilots, to propose these pilots. The definition of the pilot, etc., is to be done by the consortium. It's not that the commission will fund. They will fund the activities of the incubator, like an incubator. I mean, the incubator, it's here it's not on project pilot base. Is we give you the grant to I mean, for the first 2 years, 2 to 4 pilots. You can propose other activities later, but it's not that we will not decide, we will not evaluate every project. You will, in the grant proposal, after when the consortium is selected, I insist, the consortium will be selected, they will propose for the 3 millions, the activities they want to do. So there they will have to define, but this is, I would say, around the year when we have selected the consortium, they will have to propose, I would say, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 pilots, saying how many money they would like to spend on pilot 1, how many money they would like to spend on pilot 2, how they will do it, etc. But this comes later. But it's, as I say, it's something we it's not, so we will not be deciding for every pilot. So that will be the work of the incubator as well to after evaluate the pilots, the success or not. Is it clear, Roberto?
Partly,
Okay.
but well, let's give the floor to the other questions.
Yeah, okay. There is a question from Biscay Erkan. Maybe if you could ask your question if you want to, or you want me to answer directly. Please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Hello, thanks for this event. I want to ask one question. Which states from outside the European Union are open to participation? Example, Turkey.
We know Turkey. I mean, if you go on the link after, Turkey has asked to join the program. So now they are, but the overall Digital Europe program. So Turkey could be part of the consortium, of a consortium. Of course, this is pending to the fact that if the negotiation to join the program are concluded before we sign, so they are concluded, say, summer. So that Turkey, I mean, if you have the link, there are Turkey has asked formally to request to join the program. Next question from David.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's okay.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Briefly, you mentioned 3 eligible entities active in GovTech at national level or something like that. I wonder if there is a strict definition, because does it mean that local initiatives cannot participate? Is there a critical mass, a limit? Do they have public bodies? Do they have to be public bodies, or is it okay? How is this definition laid out concretely?
I mean, here is that because we identify, I mean, it's also because we have been working mostly at national level. We're trying to find, I mean, solution that are, I mean, cross-border. I mean, this is a cross-border project after all. Definition. So this is, we don't have that, they don't have to be public because we know, I mean, also in the report, we saw that there are a number of these GovTechs, there are sometimes private companies because the states delegates this to a private company. They were subject to call for tender. So we have seen the type of legal entity varies from country to country. As well, we don't exclude regional level. We would like to have at national level, but this is so there is also no definition if there are, because we know that sometimes in certain countries that they work more on this type of initiative at regional level. So this is something we also don't want to exclude. So of course it's open.
Thank you.
Is that okay? Matthijs? Yeah, so the presentation will be shared just after the meeting. So it will be downloadable we will send to the participant who are participating to this meeting to the join up. But if you go to Join Up Innovative Public Services, you can go. I mean, maybe one of my colleagues can post the link on the chat, so you can go there, the information. So we have a question from Cristina de la Mazzalantic. Can you ask your question?
Yes, good morning, George. Thank you for the invitation and the time for questions today. Yes, you were mentioning the publication that you already provided for the practice in the EU and the activities of the Join Up website. The question is how connected should be the action plan from the consortium to the previous results from the ISA activities. Yes.
I mean, this is something that is written in the core document. We encourage, if necessary, I would say, if in one of the pilot you need to use, I would say, vocabulary or something that is, for example, defining a public service or a person. Of course, we request that. I mean, it's something we want that the project to use, if necessary, as much as possible what has been produced. So I would say, for example, semantic assets, if you need this type of assets to take the pilot, this is important. I mean, this is an idea, but it's not that we want that. But if you're using a chatbot for a public service portal, this is, of course, something that you make use of one of the previous solution. It's not an obligation, however. The link will be, I mean, it's not ISA, so now it will part of, I mean, it's an initiative we call ourselves the Interoperable Europe. So here as well, we would like as well with this GovTech Incubator to find the future building blocks. So it's one of the hopes we have. It's to be a future.
Well, I have also a second question that is not written in the chat. That is regarding this the connection with the common services platform. Is it something that will be somehow implemented in parallel, so the consortium will know the existence, or at least the design of this common services platform, or the requirements, so that the connection with the incubator can be provided or somehow designed in the action plan?
Yeah, I mean, this is something that Emery's part, I mean, in the activities we foresee as well is to, I mean, one of the things, and if you see that it's something we put as well for the overall some deliverables KPIs, if you look in the core document, is that we would like to have at least two solutions on the FPA that two pilots that would lead to the, say, a building block or a solution, reusable solution that we could support. And after this is so I mean, the GovTech, it's now to do pilots, it's not to do deployments, but after, if we see there is a success and there is a demand, it's something we could foresee in the future, bring into the common service platform, and it's how it will evolve in the future. So this is, of course, something we consider, depending also on how the request, the appetite is on using the solution.
Thank you.
There were other so there was a question from Dana. I guess it relates to the same that was from Roberto. So I don't know if you want to have your question or if you.
Yeah, thank you. Maybe to verify the answer. So as I understand correctly, the 3 million euros, it will be made available for the first specific grant agreement for which you foresee to fund about 2 to 7 pilots.
Yeah. I mean, it's just to clarify, we ask under this activity, we will provide fund to execute, to give to the consortium.
Yeah.
To execute and to, I mean, so it means design, execute, and evaluate, of course, the pilot. It's 2 years. So it's what you say. So it's for the total for the SGA. It means that in the next work program, we could have also another, and we could, to implement, as I say, you will have an action plan of 4 years. The first 2 years, you should at least do these 2 to 3 pilots. And of course, the second in 2023-2024, I mean, when we're on the work program 2023-2024, we should ask maybe more, maybe less other activities, but it's also according to the action plan that will be submitted.
Clear. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Can you, yeah, there is a question from Zela. I don't know, I hope I pronounce.
Yeah, well, it's actually pronounced correctly, so that's nice. I actually had two questions, which one of them was actually partially already answered, I think. So you actually plan to approve only one action plan in this call.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's just, as I say, we're calling for one framework partnership agreement.
Okay.
So it's a long-term cooperation. So it's something that, I mean, initially we start for 4 years. We hope continue to 7 years. So this is why, I mean, it's only one consortium, as it was answered.
Thank you.
But you have a second question, you told me?
No, this one actually already answers it.
Yeah, okay.
Go into it, there's a little bit where your name on it is stated.
So
Business unit, print it off, sign it, and we'll send them off.
Okay. He sent an email. Okay, he sent an email.
Tony, you want to ask a question? Excuse me.
Okay. All right, thanks.
So I think there are others. I cannot see other people who raised their hand. I don't know if Tony, Shannon, if you want to ask questions because your mic is open.
Apologies, sorry, I didn't have any questions. Excuse me.
Okay. Does anybody else
have one, George?
A question? Yeah. Please
Yes,
go ahead.
What is the expected or foreseen relationship with the digital innovation hubs, especially those that are focusing on public services? And one second, because you said that there will be one selected only proposal. This, to my opinion, is not easy to address the regional issues. So is it possible to consider possibility of two? That's the question. Thank you.
I mean, the thing is that we would like, as I say, you can have partners. I mean, we want. This is also the idea is to have a framework partnership agreement, is to offer a framework the largest number of participants to
It's very low, your voice, please.
Sorry, is it better now? Can you hear it better?
Yes, much better.
Okay, sorry. So the idea is that we do not preclude the participants of regional, as I say. I mean, you could have regional participants. We will not be that. I mean, to be sure that as well, you have to be careful not to ensure that there is no double funding. So a regional innovation hub supporting public sector can of course participate, but you have to be careful in the activities that there is no double funding, because this is something we check as well. I mean, we give the grants. The sound is not good. Is
not
it for
good.
Everybody, or just to know that if I need to change something? Can you tell others if you have also? You have also, okay.
It's just a bit weak. It's a bit weak sound compared to others, yeah.
Okay.
Just fine at my side.
Just try to change the mic setting.
George?
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Wait.
Okay.
If it's possible. Sorry, Roberto. But
Now you're good.
No, it's better
Yeah.
Now
it's better the sound.
Excellent.
Okay. So coming back to your question, Yanis. So I mean, of course, we welcome the participation of regional. Of course, as I say, we put the focus on national level because we are working as well on mostly at national level in interoperability. So you can participate, and and why we are asking. So as I said, you could be part of the FPA. So the FPA, ideally, we would like to have as much participant as possible. It doesn't mean that, for example, the first grant, and this is, I would say, the important part is that the activities you will do has to be an agreement. So the Commission will not say, regional, you have to do that, this participant, you have to do that. This has to be agreed on the consortium. And this is why after we have the pitching session, that it's to allow you to meet each other, to start discussing, like in a normal grant, you have to meet partners and you have to build one big consortium that would allow to do that. I mean, there are also these type of activities. We know in certain countries, they are also doing gathering at national level, joining the partners that are at regional level. So this is something you have to consider. So here, we will not say we want to have a partner B and C, and we would have one consortium for regional, one consortium for national. The consortium will be an agreement between different partners, and they will propose this action plan. Of course, we did not say that we will refuse two proposals if there are two different consortium, because it's the reality. You make a consortium with the partner, you don't agree. This is also something, but at the end, we will just select one. So.
Regarding the digital innovation hubs, which is a similar path in some aspects, forcing the relationship between the digital innovation hubs, which is
yeah, I mean, it depends what you mean relationship, because I mean, of course, you cannot co-funding with it because it's in the same program. Co-funding with the digital innovation hub will not be possible. As I say, co-funding has answer to some decisions. I mean, maybe I can ask. I mean, I would say at first, I don't think that it's possible to co-fund because we're part of the same program. We have the same specific objectives. So that would be peculiar. However, as I say, if there have been a large amount of money that has been put on the resilience and recovery plans, if some member states have foreseen activities that correspond to the activities of the GovTech, there you can ask. But this, I would say, comes at a later stage, and I will not explain because it's quite, I mean, it deserves a publication. If it's okay, I will ask. There was Redwan. Oh yeah, sorry. There was Redwan who raised his hand and I didn't see. Redwan, the floor is yours.
Yes. Hello. Sorry. Do you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for this nice presentation. I had two questions. The first one was regarding the projects. As I understood, we firstly submit our ideas and our actions, action proposals, and then the consortium gets informed and launches the selected project for an action.
No. So and this I will come to that. So the ideas, etc., you have to talk among yourself. This is also, I mean,
yes,
this is part. It's a matchmaking exercise. So you don't submit individually to the Commission. So like a normal grant in Horizon, you have to identify partners. And you come together, you meet, and you have the time to elaborate. So, I mean, what the composition of the consortium, if you'd like to join, and agree on the action plan. So, and then this is the consortium. So, would be the person that will be designated as the coordinator of the consortium that will make the submission. Of course, you have to be eligible. So you have to register as participant, but then the person that will lead the consortium will also ensure and to write the proposal, etc. So this is really like, I would say, in this part is like a Horizon grant. I don't know if you've been in there, you have participated, so you have to be part of the consortium. So we don't expect single participation. As I say, I mean, we need to have at least 3 participants from 3 member states in the consortium. So.
Okay, and then that was the sense of my question, to know if, for example, among, for example, the people who are present here, is there any room for matchmaking and seeing if our solution, yes. So the thing that I'm saying now will be clear for if I present later my project, and you will see see how it is. And this was my second question. As we had we confirmed our participation to the pitching session this morning, but we had lately the request of sending our PowerPoint. So we are ready to pitch afterwards, even though we didn't respond to the mail to the email of yesterday. So just
okay. I mean, I can have a look. I have access to my email. Which company are you? Because I mean,
we are the French organization, the DINUM, the Interministerial Direction.
Okay. So you will see. So this is okay. So this I will come, because I guess we will start.
Okay. Or I will just share my screen if I pitch to give some.
Yeah, I mean, I will see, because we don't want to lose time. There are we have 15 people pitching. So
okay, no problem.
There was Roberto. So now.
Okay, the question is that will the Commission help in eventually merge consortium between if there are different scopes that overlaps, and the consortiums will need to be signed before the participation, or it will be just an engagement in creating the consortium?
I mean, this is, I mean, if you're, I don't know, I mean, if you did not participate, so the idea is that we organize matchmaking, so we might organize more of these events. This is why now we will have 1 hour dedicated to pitching, and maybe I will start sharing my screen again to show what we intend to do. And so the idea is that we will we're organized also on the portal. I will show that there was also a way where you can express your interest to join with coordination, with coordinates and contact points, as well as something that if you would like, and if you express your interest, you can write either in the chat, but as well you could do it on the you could also do it on the, I would say on the, sorry, I'm searching my words, as well on the mailbox or on the chat, to indicate that you would like to share your contact information with participant, and we will do that. So I will send either, we will also make a post presentation survey, and to give you also the opportunity to ask more questions. So the matchmaking, we intend to support it as well. If you ask us that you would be interested and you would like to have contacts of people, so you have to express, of course, because of personal data protection, we need to have your consent to share your data with others. So this is why we also we send the meeting invitation individually. And so please tell us, indicate it here in any ways, and we will have regular meetings. There will be also with our colleagues of Connect, there will be information session, and probably specific matchmaking exercise. So this I will inform you, and there will be a mailing list, informing about future activities, and as well on Join Up. As I say, if you join, you can have notifications. You are able to know what will be organizing, any information, any useful information for the call. If there is no other questions, please raise your hand. I will share my screen again, and I will go to the pitching exercise. So So now we so here is the pitching. So as it was said, so it was the question already answered. So this was important, and I tell the people who were pitching, this is a matchmaking exercise. So it's not that you're pitching to convince us. Here the pitch is to convince potential partners. This is why, I mean, we ask to be concise. 3 minutes. We have 15 presentations. I mean, I don't know if somebody else has left or so the questions, anyway, the question were simple: who you are, why do you want to participate, what's your interest, and the expertise you would bring to the consortium as well. I mean, this is one way as well. I put a screenshot as well. If you go on the digital portal, funding portal, you will see you can also add that you're available to put to be there. So here you can go, you can edit and put yourself and give the same information. So this is also an information for a possible consortium to be done. But of course, I mean, something to be clear that we will not be participating in any of future consortium meeting. This we cannot do, of course. So on the participants, so here is the order. I mean, it's arbitrary order. So I would start. So we have the participants here. So I have some presentations. I will try. I think Redouane, you are. I think you are 11, so that will give me time to check. I will ask also maybe my colleague Ruben if he can take care of the timing. If you can say that it's okay, and so I will put the first presentation. So it's about. I will share it now. So,
yes.
Yanis.
Yes, thank you very much, George.
To you. So, so I think there is just one slide, huh? Am I correct?
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. You asked for one slide, I mean.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you, thank you. May I start?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, George, for this presentation and this very important initiative. I'm Yanis from Greece, from the GRNet, which is the National Infrastructure for Research and Technology, a major organization that provides digital services to the public sector. And we created the DigiGov lab, the DigiGov lab, which in the past 12 months, actually, in the core of the COVID period, we assisted the digital transformation of the major services in Greece. Maybe many of you have seen that in the past years, Greece was lagging behind in this area of public services. We tried in this almost 2 years now period of the COVID to change this and leapfrog the future. We have now a wide assortment of actors from universities, research organizations, and many companies, small and large, that have already participated in this transformation of the face of the public sector and the creation of the new central portal for public services. We, together with them, we co-create the next generation services. We have many plans that we would like to share with you. And of course, we would like to be part of this new wave of digital services together with other actors. With many of you, we have already discussed possible synergies, especially because we also have a proposal for in the digital innovation hubs called focusing on public sector needs from our side. So we will move forward with synergies, and we are here to discuss interesting proposals and interesting participation in various projections and that we will take. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Right on time. Les, so I would go, I don't know if Nitesh from DG Campus, if you're here.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I will just give me a minute to put your presentation screen. So, sorry. So,
thank you, George.
Yeah, you can start.
Hi, everyone. Thanks. Hi, everyone. My name is Nitesh Barosa. I am professor of GovTech at Delft University of Technology, and I'm also the academic director of DigiCampus. DigiCampus is a quadruple helix innovation hub, which seeks to utilize and co-create GovTech for transforming public services. We've started with a couple of co-founding partners, but today we have already grown into a real innovation hub with several activities surrounding the development and prototyping of new GovTech solutions. Why do we want to participate in this call? Because we want to build a diverse cross-border co-creation incubator that maximizes the potential of GovTech and minimizes the risk. What expertise do we bring? So over the past 3 years, since DigiCampus has been launched, we have developed a broad range of expertise, really covering end-to-end aspects of GovTech, both the demand and the supply, collaborative methods, proposition validation, together with one of our parties, Yes Delft, our partners. And I think one of the strongest points we bring also into the mix is this link with academic institutions, allowing researchers, students to really participate as well in developing and testing GovTech solutions. That's my pitch. I hope to have inspired others to talk with us so that we can build a strong consortium.
No, it was quite impressive because you just took half of the time, so you were very efficient pitching. So that's quite encouraging. So
just to close off, I won't be able to follow all the pitches, but my colleague Giulietta Marani is also in the call. So please reach out if you have any questions or suggestions for collaboration.
No problem. Sorry, I have to come back. So so we have the third presentation, Sabine Guillaume. I don't know how you want to do it in French or in English.
Well, I will try in English.
Okay. So you don't have presentation, I suppose.
It's a very, very big challenge for me. So thank you for this moment. After hearing the purpose of the meeting, I think my mission is not exactly in this scope, because we have built a tool which is called Catalog GovTech, but in order to facilitate the relation between editors and public sector. But we are not exactly a lab. I think the other presentation of a French colleague will be more in your scope. But very, very briefly, the catalog is used to promote the solutions used by public sector. How it works in a few words. If you're a public actor, you can consult the catalog to find solution which could be useful for your projects. In the second hand, for an editor, you can submit your solution in order to be more visible. We are trying by this tool to facilitate the relation between public sector and the editor, especially the small ones. So I think that's all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So now we have, maybe I take the opportunity that we have, as I say, we may need although we're asking for this GovTech Lab. I mean, there could be as well other competencies that I needed for the other activities of the GovTech, because there will be also horizontal horizontal competency. So as I say, we want to have these GovTech labs, but it's not that we exclude any other type of partner. Let me go to the maybe the other presentation. Just give me a minute. So now we have GovTech Sweden.
Yes.
I will project your slide.
Thank you very much, George. Hi, everyone. Nice to see you all. Okay, yes, thank you. Very briefly, GovTech Sweden is, you can call a bottom-up ecosystem in Sweden for GovTech. We have a shared vision, which is about to co-create, to accelerate public value in the digital transformation. And what we want to do, our mission is to create an ecosystem. And while doing this, we also want to develop the individuals and the organizations in the ecosystem, and we support one another. And we believe it's very important to have shared values also doing this. So we have trust, creativity, transparency, participation, and efficiency. But sometimes we also talk about improvement, because that sometimes sounds more positive for the co-workers. The challenge that we see from a Swedish perspective is how do we actually do this co-creation, and this being the big challenge for GovTech. There is a lot of uncertainty, both from the public sector when it comes to legislation, for example, but from the private sector, they want to have, the process to be clear and to know the business models and these kind of issues. So how do we do this co-creation? This is what we see as the main challenge. And when I talk about the ecosystem, we have actors within this, which is both the main actors, which is the public sector on all levels, local, regional, and national, but also, of course, startups and SMEs. And then we have enablers like incubators, accelerators, different kinds of organizations, civic tech, for example. And then the support system, EU could be one of those, but also government and other financial support systems. So this is very short about GovTech Sweden. So why do we want to participate in this call and in the consortium with some of you guys, or perhaps all of you? Well, we want this vision also to be shared in Europe, and we want to be part of this and this co-creation. And the expertise that we can bring is the knowledge on how to do this, and the will to also explore this. And we have a we have a lot of different actors within this ecosystem. So depending on which area we will focus on, we can find sort of the right partners to do so. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. On time as well. So that's quite encouraging. So now, I don't know if we have GovTech Campus from Germany and GovMine. I don't know if
on GovMine, yes. On the GovTech Campus, apologize on behalf of me for them. They are in an urgent meeting with the German government. They're sorry they couldn't make it. But then I would jump right into it with GovMind, if that's okay, George?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for having us. Very nice to meet all of you. I'm Manuel Kilian, the founder and CEO of GovMind. We are, I would say, a young technology company based in Berlin, and we are also, in fact, a GovTech startup ourselves. Regarding our expertise, we do pretty much one thing, and that is to systematically decode and analyze GovTech in Europe. So we have a database with more than 1,700 detailed profiles of GovTech actors, mostly startups that are located in Europe. And we're now also in the process of adding more data points to this. So we will be able to track what kind of GovTech products are out there in Europe, and what GovTech projects happened in the past between public administrations and GovTech actors. And we're also excited to link the TED data, the tenders electronic daily data on public procurement, to our databases, so we can better track in the future the public procurement of GovTech solutions. And I mean, we pretty much do all this to make insights on GovTech available to public actors. We already are working with a couple of GovTech labs and governments on this, so that they can make the best informed and evidence-based decisions on GovTech. because I think we all know that looking into GovTech in Europe, it's quite intransparent, it's very complex, there are many actors, and it takes a lot of time just to find out who's doing what. So that's the part of the work we want to do, and then make this available to others. And why we want to participate in a consortium. Basically, we're just now very excited to see that this initiative is happening at the European level. I think it comes precisely at the perfect time, and it's really great to see this as a push to foster a real European GovTech ecosystem. And we also think that it's just crucial for Europe and the future of public services to have this going on. And we would like to make it a success and to contribute to the success. So yeah, in my opinion, having an excellent and profound information basis as we can provide, that has never hurt to any policy activity, and that's precisely why we would like to bring it into consortium, and would be happy to work with some or with many of you on this topic.
Thanks, Manuel. On time as well. Excuse me. So now I will give the floor to Boza. I don't know if it's somebody from Boza who was using the pitch, if it's Christine Coppers. Is there somebody from Boza? No. Okay. So let's move to the other. So we have the Lisbon Council. I will project the slide.
Thanks.
David, yeah. David, the floor is yours. Yeah.
Hi everyone, David Osion from the Lisbon Council, a think tank, an independent think tank based in Brussels, 15 years old. This is great to meet you, by the way, and thanks to the Commission simply launching this call and bringing these actors together is a great result. We're interested in this because it brings together two areas where we've been long working, digital government and startup. You can see here a summary of our work on digital government, working with the European Commission, with the member states, with the presidency of the European Union, working with cities in Horizon, many Horizon projects, and also coordinating some of them and doing studies for the European Commission. The latest one, we piloted the benchmarking digital government indicators on usability. So strong experience on digital government and strong experience on startups. We run the European Digital Forum. In this framework, we delivered together with the community, the Scale Up Europe Manifesto and the Startup Scoreboard, work a lot with the OECD SME Entrepreneurship Center, and we are in charge of the EU Data Market Study for the European Commission with IDC and DIRWAM, so of course, startup very present there. Clearly, we are a think tank, so our work is on policy impact. We do policy briefs, we do online dashboards, summits. We involved last year many commissioners, ministers, government CIOs and CEOs in this discussion. And it's great to it's not about really writing and giving policy recommendation. This work is mostly about bringing the community together. And this is why we find it so important to be part of this. In particular, we think it's important for two reasons, and they can be summed up in a word, which is scale. On the one hand, we need solutions. We need to open up the single market for GovTech and bringing, at the moment, it's too fragmented. So we really would like to foster as much as possible EU-level players in this field and government that use solutions developed for several governments, not just national solution. And on the other hand, and it's maybe controversial to say it, but we find a problem with the issue of GovTech labs. There is a risk of ghetto, of being isolated, of being separated from the means and from the core mission and from the core technology investment of government. Too often these are sorry, I think this is not my presentation. So too often these are separated. So it's really bringing together the innovation and GovTech lab and bringing at the core of government activities, not in a separate department. This is why, and we welcome meeting and knowing most of you. We highly admire your initiatives. Keep up the good work and thank you.
Okay. exactly in 3 minutes. Congratulations.
Do I get something?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we'll see. So thank you, David. So we have now GovTech Lithuania. If I'm not mistaken, I did not receive presentation from you.
Yeah, I won't be using any slides. So
okay.
thank you for this meeting, for this initiative. It's really nice to see so many familiar faces and also to meet new ones. So I'm Camilla from GovTech Lab Lithuania, and we are a team within the public sector. We are a connector between public sector challenges and digital solutions from startups and innovative companies. And we primarily focus on running challenge-based co-creation programs and the GovTech community building. We started as a bottom-up initiative, but in the last few years managed to put GovTech on the strategic agenda in Lithuania. Why do we want to participate? Well, we are already an active member of a global and European GovTech community, cooperating with a number of countries on a knowledge sharing level, but we think that it is time to take it to another level. Therefore, we are really excited about the opportunity to implement actual cross-border pilot projects and support GovTech ecosystem. We believe that GovTech has exploded over the last years because of its global and cross-border potential. So we see this call as an opportunity to prove this potential and make it real. For the expertise that we can bring to the consortium, I would emphasize 5 things. So it's challenge-based programs, innovation procurement, events, network, and attitude. First, we have expertise in creating and running GovTech challenge-based programs, both within and outside public procurement framework, and now we're on the 5th iteration of our program. Additionally, in the last 6 months, we helped to run around 40 innovation procurements of GovTech solutions using procurement called design contests. So we have first-hand experience in how to do experimentation via procurement. Thirdly, we bring knowledge in how to organize events and community building initiatives successfully. Last year, we organized around 20 different events that were visited by almost 3,000 people. Fourth, since we together with Scotland had started and are running the CIFTech Alliance network of labs around the world, we are not only already have an experience in very broad cross-border GovTech collaboration, but also have a global reach to make sure that the pilots that we'll be doing can attract attention from the global GovTech ecosystem. Finally, and the most importantly, we also try to take bottom-up rather than top-down approach and experiment. We believe that this is what GovTech is all about. We would like to bring this anti-bureaucratic approach to the project and to implement the initiatives that actually matter and have an impact instead of just doing another project. So we would bring agile working approach, deep understanding of GovTech ecosystem, and experience in experimentation. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Camila. I did not, you heard about the ring, but this, I mean, thanks to other speakers that were fast, were able to do that. So now I will give the floor to public. So let me bring the presentation. So don't know, we'll take the floor for public.
It's me, Moritz. Hi.
Moritz, hello.
Yeah, hi. Thanks so much for the opportunity to present briefly. I am Moritz. I'm a senior associate at Public. I'm very pleased to introduce Public to you, which is a private GovTech ecosystem firm based in London and Berlin. Who are we? We started actually as a GovTech accelerator and investor in 2016 and have since become a leading GovTech services company. Our services comprise things such as ecosystem building, consulting, technology development, and also research services. For example, perhaps you've heard of our GovTech Summit that we run annually in Europe, or actually seen some of our reports on the European GovTech sector circulating in the join-up of the Interoperable Europe initiative. Why do we want to participate? This is quite simple. Since we were founded in 2016, GovTech has been the essence of what we do. So we are very excited about this incubator. We support it very much, and we would be excited to contribute to any activities in consortia. What do we offer? Perhaps most importantly for the incubator, we offer tried and tested models for developing and running challenge programs and challenge funds. that allow government actors to get in touch with and prototype innovative GovTech solutions that were developed by startups. We have run such challenge programs for a number of ministries and bodies in the UK and in Germany at this point. So if any of this sounds interesting to you, please feel free to dive deeper on our website, which is linked at the top, public.io. And also, of course, to get in touch with us and to get in touch with me, I will drop my email in the chat just after this. Thank you.
Thanks. 1 minute and 30 seconds. Good, good. So I will just go to the next one. Is Redouane?
Yes, thank you. I sent my presentation by email.
Let me just give me a minute. I have it.
Yes. Anyway, if Moritz got 1 minute and a half, I can take longer. I'm joking. So thank you very much for this initiative. I am Redouane from Paris, from the Interministerial Directorate of IT, and I'm really happy to be here because this is I hope the following of the work that we've been held with Démarche Simplifiée since 4 years. So as we're talking about GovTech, my vision of GovTech and our vision in Betagov, which is the startup incubators of the French Prime Minister's services, is how the ideal that we pursue is how to improve the relationship between the administration and the user. And following this path is how we enable the administrations and the public actors to improve and get the public user experience of the administration at its best level. So what we've been doing with Démarche Simplifiée, it's an application which is typically a form generator. So we enable any administration, whatever their level of knowledge in IT, to make any procedure, any administrative process, or any forms to create it, to develop it, and to deploy it to their user. So the application is a form of a SaaS model. So it's basically free for our administrations. It's a web app, so it doesn't need any. It's just like Google Form. And as it's like Google Form, it's easy to use, and it's very handful. It's very handful, and it's very easy for the administrations to take it. And it's compliance with all the GDPR and all the requirements of our public administration's security requirements. So as I said, it's an online application and easy security. And we had an exponential growth in service, knowing that in less than 4 years, more than 10,000 administrations in France have been using the application. We have 70,000 public agents using it every day, and we are totally open source. And we had like 5 million procedures that have been taken by the French citizens. And the objective of my presence here is to find partners to pursue the projects at a European scale. Why? Because our product has a huge virality and has a huge potential of replicability. We are an open source company. We are part of the government. Sorry, we are an open source application. We have been awarded the best open source administrative and public sector project in France in 2021. And then we have been already experiencing the open source collaboration with the French Polynesian Authority and with other public sectors entities in France. And the ideal of our presence is to connect with GovTech labs or other governments or other public entities in Europe to make them benefits of our structure, of our application, to duplicate it in the country, and to beneficiate of our expertise to deploy it to all the country to facilitate the digitalization of the public services in our future partners countries. Thank you.
Thank you.
And the following slide, there is my email, and I put the email in the chat. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's go back. Thank you, Redwan. So now we have another presentation. Let me open it from the Regional Government Biscay from the Basque Country. Let me get your presentation. So here, floor is yours.
Hello. Okay, thank you very much to the Commission for this opportunity, and thanks everyone who's here just listening to us. So I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Gorka Teiza. I'm in the name of the Regional Government of Biscay. I work for Lanti, which is the IT company, the public company created for the government. First, a brief introduction of Biscay. Biscay is a region in the north of Spain, the Basque Country, but it's different from the rest. It's different because we have the capability to create our own laws. And if you can create your laws, then you can build and get your taxes and decide how to use those taxes. So we are quite auto-sufficient and quite dedicated to provide services to our citizens with the money we get. We have 112 municipalities and more than 1 million people in our territory. Biscay government created Lantic 40 years ago. In 2021, we were 40 years old. It's a public IT company, and what we do is provide Goptec services. I mean, we've been doing Goptec since we were created for many years old, since it was before it was called Goptec. But in 2008, the government created founded a Biscay, which is another entity also, is the Goptec tool, the main Goptec tool the government has had up to this moment. We saw that the municipalities were very different. We have small ones with 700 people, for example, but the big ones with 50,000 people, but all should need and should have the same services. So a Biscay platform and the foundation was created, a Goptec tool, to provide internal municipal management to all the municipalities, all the same, but also online services to the citizens. It didn't depend if you were in a small municipality or in a big one, you had the same digital services. So we have 11 and 16 public administrations, more than 100 websites of all those administrations that personalize their content, and with hundreds of procedures done every day by 2,000 public workers. Our last initiative, and this is the one we want to put on the table because I think is that the one most interesting one, is B Accelerator Tower. It's a big building in the center of Bilbao where the administration and the government is going to put all the bet on it. One floor is going to have a quantum ecosystem. We are also deep inside quantum technologies, but the interest here for us is the Goptec ecosystem. For whole floor is going to be a quantum Goptec ecosystem with Goptec Lab and many initiatives with public and private funding. They are going to be led by Lantic, and we think not only our past but our present would be interesting to be part of something bigger, in a bigger scale, in the European level, accounting the capabilities we have. Thank you very much. I think that's all.
Yeah, thank you, Gorka.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you. Thanks for the presentation. We have now, I'll just launch Beck's company.
Yeah, thank you. Jacco from the VNG will take the floor. Thank you,
You
George.
tell me when...
when to click. Yeah, there's because
when to click,
yeah, I will. All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Jacco. I'm representing our informal collaboration with the partners that you see below. I work for the Dutch Association of Municipalities. What we're trying to achieve is successful collaboration on public software. As we speak, the momentum in the Netherlands hasn't been bigger than before when it comes to using open source and public software. We have a new coalition agreement in which open source is also getting a prominent position. We have a state secretary for digitalization. So we're actually experiencing the biggest momentum as we have seen so far. If you can click, please. And again, and that's why we're trying to bring that policy in practice. So we're actually building collaborations with Dutch municipalities around public software. And we've been doing that from what we call an incubator, in which we initiate, maintain, and scale collaborations with public software. And our next goal for 2022 is to make this sustainable and future-proof, because by executing these policies in practice, we learn very valuable lessons, and those valuable lessons need to be brought back to policy making. If you can click to the next sheet, please. The expertise that we can bring to this consortium, if you would like to click, is of course the valuable experience, and I think that we also have delivered what we call best practice ecosystem for initiating and scaling and sustaining successful collaborations on public software. Let's say, yeah, thank you. And it's also, of course, scalable to the EU governments. Another interesting thing that we have developed in the Netherlands is what we call our common ground standard for IT infrastructure and data exchange. We have a thing called Haven, or Haven if you like, which is also shareable. Take a look at it. It's very interesting to create the technical foundation in order to do successful collaboration on public software. Last slide, please. The question that's going to be answered, why do we want to participate in this call? Basically because we believe that our mission is going to be beneficial for all our European partners who search ways to do successful collaboration on public software. But we also need partners, and we would like to transform this in a way of work which is replicatable and suitable for rollout in other EU countries. And we also need partners that can help us changing the existing behavioral, organizational, and financial structures. We're doing something new, and the existing structures do not always suit or in the best way, so they need to be changed, and it's a very intense process in which we need help. And the last sheet, well, and there we have the Europe, and last sheet is my contact details, just in case you want to get in touch and see if we can form a nice coalition to enter this call together. Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Jacob. So, and just in time. So, I think we have now, let me check again, where are we? So we have now beta I. Let me just give me a minute to open the slides. From Portugal.
Yeah, hi.
You're here? Yeah, let me just give me 1 second to open the slides. And
so I just start until you get the slides, but basically
it's okay.
Okay, there. So basically we're beta from Portugal. Yeah. We're beta from Portugal. My name is Ricardo Marvão. I'm one of the co-founders, and we're a collaborative innovation consultancy company. We're based in Lisbon, with offices also in Brazil, Brussels, and Boston. We've been working in this collaborative innovation process between big corporates and public sector with more mature startups for over 10 years. And recently we've been discussing with the government the GovTech project here in Portugal. And that's our experience more on the specific GovTech part. We have 10 European projects that we won, and 2 of them has leaders of the consortium. If you want to change the slides, 2 slides actually. One more, or sorry, one more. Yeah, and basically these programs. No, one less. Sorry. Yeah. So basically these innovation programs that we built basically bring in all the different stakeholders from the corporates, the public institutions, academia, regulators, policymakers, some strategy partnerships, and we want in the end is to make this work. So for instance, when we work with corporates, what we want in the end is contract signs and the pilots to be successful and sign a long-term commitment between both sides. And that's the same we would like to have in this project, the commission. So that's it. Thank you.
think you're on mute. We don't hear you.
Okay, no, sorry. I got the wrong template. I get this horrible second slide and move straight to the third, which was the one I thought I was sending you. Yeah, exactly. Forget the other one. That is a template of many little boxes. So great start. I feel I really made a great impression the first chance I got. But anyway, I'm from Digital Arena, which is managed by the Compare Foundation, which is a Swedish tech innovation cluster located in the western Sweden, close to the Norwegian border. And I'm working with Digital Arena, which is a health tech innovation initiative funded by Vinnova, which is a Swedish innovation agency. And we're centered around the interaction between public sector and startups, mainly related to health. We have, since 2020, we have supported around 100 plus Swedish, Nordic and Baltic health tech startups. And we're more and more circled around this interaction between public sector and innovative companies, and trying to fix that knot and that issues that are really related to creating the conditions of scaling these actually innovative services in a B2G environment. And then we're currently piloting a project that we're calling Digital Demand Acceleration, where we're combining these best practices from the startup incubation accelerating work with innovation and co-creation, like typical agile innovation work, within the frameworks of an innovation procurement budget. So we can use the procurement budget to facilitate this co-creation. That's the kind of idea we're on, and that we're doing together with Vinnova and one of the Karlstad municipality in Sweden. So we want to, of course, connect with other GovTech initiatives for learning, sharing, and contributing in general to the development of GovTech within the EU, which this call is just a brilliant opportunity to do is that. And our expertise is exactly what we're doing now. We're using, in practice, experimenting with ways to using the public procurement as an innovation policy instrument, because our belief is that if we could use just a fraction of the public procurement budget to fund innovation within tech, we could get an enormous impact on that. And we are on to experimenting with the how to actually do that in practice. So anyone that's interested in that or learning more about that, or just want to get in touch in general, please send me an email or connect with me on LinkedIn. I will share my details again.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just in time again. So I think we still have. So everybody, I don't know if there was Lars from GovTech, if he's here, not. If not, I mean, if you, yeah, sorry. In case you would like to, if there are other participants, because we still have some time, if there are other participants who would wish to pitch, please come forward.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Yeah, my mic was not working. I'm Bertje Hoel from BOSA. So we were actually
okay, yeah, you were missing. So now you can pitch. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, normally Christine Kopers would have joined, but she's in a meeting, but I'm replacing her. So I'm Bert from BOSA. I'm actually innovation designer at BOSA. BOSA is a federal government agency in Belgium, and we are actually part of the Digital Transformation Office. And we're interested in this call because we like to contribute to the European ecosystem of GovTech. What we're doing with BOSA is everything relating to the digital transformation of Belgium. This is concerning, for instance, EID, federal authentication. We are also a service integrator. We have different service offerings. The department that we are in with innovation, we are focusing highly on reusage of open data. We're also very much willing to support any open source activity. We focus on human-centered design. We actually have an effort to help improve the digital public services in a more human-centered way, in which also a big part of it is a part of digital inclusion. And finally, with regards to GovTech, we actually are very much committed to try to bridge GovTech and civic tech and see it as something more general as being public interest tech. So partners or projects that are thinking in the same direction, we are very happy to partner. I left my contact in the chat, and I also will leave it in the form that you create. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Bert. So yeah, so thanks. Yeah, we saw the link. So we will share, of course, with the participants the link, and in case, I mean, just write if you want to have get in touch with the people who agreed to share, and that will be all. Again, a call if somebody, we still have 15 minutes. We can finish early as well, but if somebody else would like to pitch, the floor is open for. We still have some minutes. Oh, raise your hands if there is somebody interested, but I don't see anything. So if I may, maybe if I don't see anything, so I think it's time to close. It has been, yeah, almost 1 hour, 3/4. So thank you for joining, and thanks for the pitch. As I said, there will be more of this. So we will, of course, use the contacts we collected to keep you informed. I mean, about the GovTech, but there are also other activities that are related. I mean, any publication. I forgot to mention there is also another publication that address the main issues on procurement, etc. This is also coming in the coming probably next week. There will be matchmaking exercise organized within the scope of Digital Europe. We will see as well if it's necessary, and so we hope that you stay tuned. As I say, I mean, I really encourage you to join the Innovative Public Service platform. I mean, no, sorry, join up. I doing something. I will put the link now. If you if it has not been done, but it will be shared also in the email, the follow-up email. And so there you will be able to follow any information. The call will open. We will also be publishing any answers to questions so that you may have. They will be as well answered on the participant portal with the link that is provided with the presentation. And this is something that we hope that it will be a success. We hope to really that you find a way to make this a success, to have a formal, to make this cooperation framework. We really hope that it's a good way to go, to have member states to create projects themselves, to collaborate themselves, to work on this and to learn from each other as well. And I would say as well, for those who are not, I mean, it's also a good way by joining a consortium, if you're less advanced, etc., to be able to learn from others too. And we know that there are different levels of maturity. So there is a big hope. I will give you as well, I mean, on other activities we are, so this is part as well, and the European Commission Directorate General for Informatics, we're responsible for this. I would say this is a heading of what we are doing. So it's about interoperability. It's called Interoperable Europe. So as well, you can follow us on Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn as well. You will get it's a way also to get in touch and to see what we are doing. And thanks for you. Have a nice day. And I think there were no more questions. So I think it's, I hope there is nobody raising the hand. So let's close the meeting. Thanks to you all. And let's keep in touch between us, yourselves. Start having ideas, discussing on what you would like to do. And don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, George.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Have a nice day.